In this video, I'm going to show you 5 PowerPoint tips for beginners. To save you some time, I have listed these tips here, and there is also a timestamp in the description of this video which you can click and directly watch any particular tip if you are interested in any of these. And there is also a bonus tip about Slide Master in PowerPoint. And I needed to include this in order to explain further the first tip, which is about how to use personal templates in PowerPoint. So there are 6 tips in total. So let's get started after a short break. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tahir and I make videos about educational technology tools for students and teachers. Some of my videos are for teachers, some are for students. There are some videos about PhD students as well. There is the playlist PhD. So if this is your first time, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video on this channel. So whenever I start PowerPoint, there are 2 things which always annoy me. Number one is that when I click to open a new presentation opens with these 2 placeholders. Placeholder for a title and some description. And always I have to click and delete it like this. Something like this. Although this takes only few seconds, but it is annoying. And there is a very simple way to remove this extra step. And what you can do is that if you want to start always from a blank sheet, you can right click on this, click on layout, click on blank, and now this presentation has a blank layout. And now you can save this as your template. Not only a blank presentation, but if you have a very good presentation and you like the format of that presentation, you can also save that presentation in your personal templates. And that personal templates are available if you click on File and New. PowerPoint has provided you a tab, Personal. If I click on that, currently there is no template in this folder. This is a folder on your drive where you can save your personal templates. Let me go back, and now I want to save this blank layout as my personal blank template. To do that, what I need to do is click on File, Save As, and then click on this PC. And in the file type area, I need to select PowerPoint template, and then I can give this a name, my blank template, and I click Save. And now I close this file, and let's say I want to start a new presentation. So I click on File, New, Personal, and this is my blank template. I click on that and I click Create. It will open blank and I can make my presentation, and when I will save this time it will be saved as a presentation, not as a template. So let's say I click File, Save As, this PC. As you can see that the file format is presentation file format because the template file format is different, as you can clearly see. So if you start from a template, PowerPoint knows that when you are trying to save it, you want to save as a presentation, not as a template. And this will work for any presentation which you want to save as a template. Now, normally what happens is that before you save any file as a template, you want to put some layout, some placeholders. For example, you want 4 places to put images, 1 place to put the description, and 1 place to put the title. So this can be done by using the Slide Master in PowerPoint, which I am going to discuss at the end of this video, tip number 6, because that is the more practical way to save as a template. Now let's talk about tip number 2, which is how to compress a video file when you insert it in your PowerPoint presentation. Because if you want to attach this presentation to send it to someone, or in general you want to reduce the file size, it is good idea to compress the video. So let us see how it works. For example, I want to put a video here. So I will click on Insert tab and then Video from my PC, and I have saved this video and I insert. Now the video has been inserted. So I don't want any design idea, so I close this and I reduce the size of this video. And now in order to compress this video, I click on File and Info, and it is showing me that this video file is currently 17 megabytes, and I click on compress media, and then I have few options. So this is the maximum quality, then this is called internet quality or 720p. So let's say I want to use this quality. So I click on that, and now PowerPoint will start compressing this video, and it will take some time, maybe few minutes, to compress this video in PowerPoint. But the benefit is that you don't have to use any other application such as Handbrake to compress your media files. So this compress media feature in PowerPoint is very important. Now the process of compression has been completed, and as you can see that it is showing me it has saved 2.5 megabytes. I used a very small file, therefore saving is also small. If your file is, let's say, 600 MB, your saving will be of course much more. Now I can close this. Now it is shown here that now the quality has changed. I can go back, I can start the video, I can see the quality. If I am not happy with that, I can go back to info area, I click on that, and I can undo my compression simply by clicking on undo. Compression will be undone and the quality will be back to the original quality of the video. So let's go back and I delete this. So this was tip number 2. And now for math teachers, there is a tip about inserting the mathematical equations quickly in PowerPoint. To do that, you need to either be working on a tablet, or you can connect any low price tablet such as Wacom or Huion. I have separate videos on these, how to use them. So I have connected my Wacom tablet on my USB port, and if I want to write math equations on this presentation, to do that I click on insert and math equation, and then I click on ink equation. Now this dialog box will appear, and if you are using an iPad or a Samsung tablet, you can write with your hand in this area. Simply write math with your fingers. But I am using Wacom tablet and I am writing with the stylus, and let me write something. A square is equal to c square, let's say plus root x, something like that. So this is the quickest way to write mathematics, and now I click on insert and my equation will be inserted inside my presentation. So this is a good tip for math teachers. Let me delete this again. Now the next tip is about quick access bar, which is this area. There are few commands which you can quickly access, and you can add more commands to this area by clicking on this small arrow and then clicking on more commands. By default, popular commands are selected in this area. If you want to look at all the commands, you click on this arrow and click on all commands, and now you have all commands available in this area, and then you can put any command which you use more often into this quick access bar. For example, in presentations there are few things we use very often. We change case. You write something in lower case and then you want to quickly change the text in uppercase, or vice versa. So let's say I want to put that command in my quick access bar. To do that, I will scroll down until I see this change case. I click on that and I click on this add. So this change case will be added in my quick access bar, because as you can see that quick access toolbar is selected in this area. And now I click OK. And now this command is available here. Let me insert a text box here and I write something in lower case. Now this command will become available. I can click on that and click on uppercase and my text will be converted to uppercase. You can put few more commands if you like in your quick access toolbar. So this was our tip number 4. Let me delete this. Now our next tip is about chart animations. So when you insert any chart in PowerPoint and you start presenting, the complete chart will come to view at once. So let me show you what I mean. If I click insert and chart and then I insert any chart, any example chart, press OK. Now this chart is inserted, and there is also an associated Excel sheet, and PowerPoint is showing you this sheet. You can change the values and you can put your own values and your graph will be ready. You can remove the series and the categories, whatever you want to do. And there is an automatic integration between Excel sheet and chart. So let me close this, and if I want to animate this chart, what happens is that this chart, this complete chart will come at once. This is not what I want. I want that all these bars come one by one when I click, or I want one category to come at once, then the second category and the third category, and so on. To do that, what you need to do is click the chart first, then click on animations and click on animation pane. Animation pane will appear on the right hand side. Now the chart is selected and I have to select any animation which I want to apply. Let's say I apply this fly in animation, and as you can see that the complete chart is coming like this. To animate individual categories, what you need to do is first make sure that this option is highlighted. Then you click on effect options, and let me first select by category. So if I click on that, now as you can see that these three series in one category appear first, then this category, and so on. You can further go deep and click based on series. In that case, only one bar will come at one time. So let us do that, and if I click on by element in series, now as you can see that blue element, then orange, and then gray. So this is also another way to animate the chart. Now this is how you animate a chart in PowerPoint, and you can further fine tune this animation like any other animation, but that will take a lot of time to explain, and that is not the topic of this video. In most cases, this type of animation is enough for you. Now the bonus tip is about Slide Master. Slide Master is a feature in PowerPoint which allows you to change globally in your presentation. If you make any changes in Slide Master, which is a slide, all of your presentation slides will be affected. It is a very detailed topic. There are a lot of things to understand, but I wanted to highlight in this video, which is a beginner's video, because this is such an important thing that you should learn about Slide Master early when you start using PowerPoint. And I will be explaining a little bit about this feature, which will help you in making some wonderful presentations. For example, this is my new presentation, and if I right click on this, I have this layout, and in this layout I can select any of the layout for this particular slide. Ideally, what you should be doing is that you should be creating your own layout for your company, where you put the logo of a company at a particular location and then design all other layouts. If this is not possible for you to use only one layout for all of your slides, you should be designing 2 or 3 layouts for your own company, which are designed in such a way that you can put your logo at a particular location. All these layouts are attached to your Slide Master. Now I can select any layout for this slide, and in these layouts the thing which differs is the placeholders. As you can see that it has 2 placeholders for picture and maybe for text, but this is totally blank layout. So you create these layouts or you modify these layouts, you put logos or you select global fonts or colors in your Slide Master. So where is Slide Master? If I click on view, we have this Slide Master. If I click on that and I scroll all the way up, this is my master slide in Slide Master, and if I put my logo here, PowerPoint will try to put this logo in all of my presentation slides. And I said try because there are some layouts which will not allow this logo to appear on top of everything. So therefore it is a planning you need to do, as I explained earlier. But whatever changes you make in this slide, it will appear on all of your slides. So let me give you one example. So let us assume that I start from this nearly blank layout and I want to design a layout for my company. So for example, I don't need these 3 footer placeholders, I delete them, and what I need is a placeholder for the title, text placeholder. So I click on insert placeholder, and these are all placeholders available. I select a text placeholder and I select area. As soon as I do this, notice that format tab will open, and if I want to make any global changes in this layout, I can do that. I can select a font color, I can put a background, these kind of things. But if not, I click outside and you notice that we are back into the slide master area where we can insert further placeholders. So let us select a placeholder for a picture, and I want my picture to be on the right hand side. Again, the format tab is open. If I click outside, I go back, and let's say I want a chart on the left hand side. It's not looking good, but I just want to show you how you can create them. You have to make them fancier based on your own requirement, but this is how you do. For example, I want this placeholder to be a hexagonal, not a rectangle. To do that, I simply insert a shape and I select a hexagon and I put it here. You can resize it whatever you want, let's say like this. And now I select the picture placeholder, then I press shift and select this hexagon, and in this operations area I select intersect. And now although it looks like a rectangle or square, but actually it's now hexagonal image holder, and if I insert any image, it will be within this hexagon, which I will show you at the end. Now my layout is ready, and if I right click on this, I can rename this layout. Instead of blank, I call it digit idea layout. I rename it. Now in this way you create one or two layout for your company, and then you might not need all these. You can delete them or you can keep them if you want. Now this layout is ready. I close this, and now I right click, I click on layout and I select my digit idea layout. Let me open a folder and I drag any rectangle picture in this placeholder. I bring it like this, and as you can see that this picture is inserted inside this hexagonal area. Now I can insert new slide. If I click on new slide, I can insert new slide in this layout, or if my company has more than one layout, I can select. Now let's say I want to put a logo here. So I go back to my slide master, and this time I click on this main slide and I insert a picture here. So I insert picture, and this is my logo. I insert and I bring it here. Let's resize this a little bit. I bring it here and I close this. This is where my picture is shown. So I can go back, either I can move this in this slide individually, or better, if I go back to my slide master and here I just edit this to make my logo clear of that hexagon. Now I close this and I insert a new slide with this, and now my logo is clear. So for this slide, what I can do is I can simply delete this slide and I can insert picture in this new slide, something like that. And now if I insert a slide in any other layout, let's say this layout, my logo may not be visible because this picture placeholder is hiding my logo. So this is what I explained in the beginning, that you have to plan all the layouts for your company. When you are creating those layouts in Slide Master and you want to put a logo, you should keep your logo clear of all other placeholders. So this is how you use Slide Master in PowerPoint to create layouts for your company, to put logos, to make global changes in your presentation. So this is it for today. The video has become a little bit longer than what I expected, but I'm sure that this is valuable for beginners, and because most beginners, they don't know about Slide Master, so I tried to introduce a good thing to beginners which will help them in future to be more productive with PowerPoint presentations. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.